finally, we've come to the exercises. Now, again, like I said, usually I don't do the exercises with the class unless issues have come up where people got stuck or they've seen, because these answers are at the back of the book. So you can read through the answers there. It's just that when somebody has gotten stuck on something, or they read through the answer and there were things that they didn't quite understand, then we come and discuss it. But I will go through the exercise over here and some additional material as well, additional exercises. Okay, so here you will finally see how you will put together all of the things like dot find, dot upper, dot count, all the things that you've done before. So the question is, we are going to calculate the AT content. It says here's a short DNA sequence and it gives you the sequence. Write a program that will print out the AT content of this DNA sequence. Means you can use normal mathematical symbols like add, subtract, blah, blah, blah. So now you have to think a bit, okay? So you've learned all of these things. How can you, and you need to know a little bit of just basic arithmetic. So how will you go about this? What methods do you know? What string methods do you know that can help you with this? Now, I know the first thing you're thinking about, obviously, is dot count, which is correct. So you start to write your code. Now, you could have used any other variable that you wanted to. And I will encourage you again, if you haven't done this, but you've watched these videos, pause here and attempt this on your own, because it really feels very good. Even if you can solve just one line of it. Like, for example, all you can do is, oh, okay, wait, I know how to put the sequence into a variable. Start there, because anything that you can start with and run and does not give you an error, even though we know that as you become a little more experienced, that is not necessarily always a good thing. But anything that you can run without it causing errors is little victory jumps, okay? So yeah, I've put this sequence into something that's intuitive for me. I've called it my sequence. And again, like I said, you might at the beginning forget to put the quotation marks. That's why I'm saying do it, because there are little things that you're going to get stuck on. You might copy this and go, oh, cool, I'm just going to take this part and remove this colon and put an equal there. And then you find, oops, I forgot, I can't have a space between DNA sequence. Oops, this isn't running because it's supposed to be in quotes. Just do it, because you're going to make simple mistakes and it's going to help you to get it ingrained into your head, how this different syntaxes of Python work. So yes, you would say my sequence and apply the dot count method to it. And you obviously want to count the A's and the T's, and you have to do this independently. So I've intuitively stored the count for the my sequence into count A's. And then I did the same with count T's. Now comes a little bit of math. So again, how do you go about finding the ratio of A's and T's in the sequence? You would need to add your A's and your T's, or you need to find the number of A's, find the number of T's, and then add them together, and then obviously divide them by the number of nucleotides that is, in your sequence. We've learned the length function. So now you've got all the numbers that you need in order to perform this mathematical calculation. So you're going to then say, now again, I've done this all in one line, but you don't need to. You could have split it. You could have said final or combined count of A's and T's, and you could have done it like that, combined A's and T's is equal to. So you can do division and all kinds of things on there because they're actually numbers. Okay, so you might have said, you could have done it like this. AT content is equal to, for example, the combined A's plus T's after you've you might have done it like this. AT content is equal to combined A's plus T's over the length of the sequence, because you've already calculated this here. And then obviously you would then print 80 content. Now this is just to show you again. I said it at the start and I will say this over and over again. You need to make sure when you code, or I might have not said it in this video, but you need to make sure that when you are spending time with, whether you're doing consulting or whether you're sitting with and doing a little project for somebody or helping somebody with something that you're scripting, you must make sure that you and the other person that you are working with are saying the same thing. Sometimes some people will speak in code language and you will see that, or you might have seen it already in one of the up and coming exercises. And sometimes people will speak normal language, and we know sometimes that the two aren't necessarily, they can get confusing when you're reading instructions. So what I did here, now firstly I combined all of mine into one line, which is, you could have done it, your own way. It doesn't matter. But when I read this, I decided that I'm going to turn this into a percentage. So this is why I've got this part that you have there, and I've called this 80%, not 80, A and T percent, and then multiply that by 100, okay? And then, but obviously you will leave this part out if you want to do it exactly like we did it in the book and get your ratio instead of your percentage, which is fine.